Hockey, it's senior. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to senior night here on Hockey Top. My name is Charlie Sarafian with the Tennessee Club Sports Network. It is senior night. You want to point the camera over to what's going on down on the ice.
Can't hear you, Charlie.
Tell him to point. Point over there. It's Dylan Siegel. Dylan Siegel, a senior here on Hockey Top. He's played the sport for quite some time now. He's joined by his mom, his dad, and his brother. He was the leading goal scorer for the Tennessee hockey team last year and had quite the season, and he is an efficient scorer on offense here on Hockey Top. Coming up next, we'll see who that is in a second. Can't really see. Erin Maddox.
Oh, dude, I can't read.
So Erin, she works with the communication staff for the Tennessee hockey team. A valuable asset to this team. And she is joined alongside her father. Coming up next is Mallory Leeds. Mallory Leeds is the head of game day operations for Tennessee hockey. She is the backbone to this program, and she has been with the team for 4 years. She's actually the one who brought me on originally, so props to Mallory. This is an amazing emotional moment for her. She's been with the team for quite some time. She puts her heart and soul into Tennessee hockey, and she is joined alongside her mother and father. Give it up for Mallory Leeds. And they'll take a photo out there on the ice, Erin and Mallory. And that is it for our seniors. And now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean the starting lineups. Pardon me. We have the starting lineups out there. On defense, number 17, Gus Hendricks. Number 19, I missed the name.
Welcome inside the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. It's senior night, as Charlie mentioned, as the 6-5 Tennessee Ice Vols host the 7-4 Clemson Ice Tigers. I'm Ethan Price. Alongside me is Dominic Spezia. Dom, I think we're in for a good one today, man.
Yeah, if we saw anything from last night, a lot of goals are going to be scored. And the Ice Vols, they're looking to even up this 2-game weekend series here and reversing their fortunes from last night.
Yeah, and you mentioned misfortunes. Tennessee right now on a 2-game losing skid. Clemson on a 3-game winning streak, their 3rd straight road game after starting out with, I believe, 5 straight home games, Dom. What are you looking for Clemson being away, but you got the win last night? How do you feel going into this second game?
Well, you know, away games, that's where a team really bonds. And they're averaging 7 goals per game in their past 3 wins. So they're electric on offense, and they're just going to want to continue that momentum in the Knoxville Coliseum.
And we welcome you inside the Knoxville Civic Coliseum as we get ready for center face-off to open this one here on this chilly Sunday afternoon. Clemson wins that first battle, and Tennessee already going on defense, something they're used to after last night. Clemson doing a little passing, trying to line up a shot. They lose possession. Tennessee, well, almost lost possession there, but they're able to recover it.
Nice job on defense there to gain possession of the puck, and let's see if we can keep it, get some offense going for the Ice Vols.
Saw Connor Berry, number 43, take a shot there, went off to the left. This is good, though, for Tennessee. After last night's game, they didn't have a whole lot of momentum on offense, starting out good. As soon as I say that, though, a turnover.
Yeah, one thing I noticed last night, turnovers and just stick control were not up to par. And that led to a lot of opportunities for the Tigers to get some easy offense.
Yeah, speaking of last night, I heard you ran camera. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Definitely a different experience than up here in the booth.
And Tennessee's hoping for a different experience in this game. Off to a solid start, I would say. Doing a good job maintaining possession and not letting Clemson bleed the clock like they did last night, as that one's going to ride the boards and get back to Tennessee. And we have our first whistle, second whistle.
It looks like, I don't know what that is. I thought it was just a simple offsides, but...
Come on, Dom, you're my color guy. You're supposed to know.
Well, it's looking like it was an icing, I guess. I don't even know if the refs know what happened. You see that one guy, that one ref over by the bench.
It's still a little early. They just got to wake up. They got plenty of time, though.
Yeah, they've only had 1 cup of their normal daily 4 cups of coffee, so...
And that is Ben Ciesla falling on that one and preventing an early goal for the Ice Tigers.
Nice save there. There were a lot of saves last night, but, you know, at some point, when you give up 6 goals, you might think it's just the defense instead of the goaltender.
Clemson with a shot to the left, missed completely. They retain possession as they're going to fight for it in the corner. Now Tennessee's going to send this one down the ice. Clemson's goalie's going to just let it go by him. Smart move. Tennessee, though, here with a chance. Battling offense, they lose possession, but Tennessee takes it right back, and there's a goal for the Ice Vols.
That's the senior, Dylan Siegel. Senior day goal for him. He was itching for that. He was just waiting for that rebound off of Dietz's pads, and he was right there ready to score that easy goal.
And what a start for Tennessee. It took them it did take 2 periods and more to get their first goal last night, though. Already just a minute and a half in, almost 2 minutes, and they now take the lead up 1-0.
Yeah, something to note, even though Tennessee did score with 7 seconds left, you could say it was a garbage time goal, but they have scored two goals in a row against Clemson in this series.
Fair point. Clemson blocks that one with his leg.
Yeah, and that right there, not being able to keep the puck in the zone. That was a big reason why Clemson was able to get a lot of breakaways and some open ice to create offense last night.
Speaking of offense, Tennessee looking, every time I mention them, they turn it over. But they have a really good offense here to start this one. But Clemson's speed, we know how dangerous it is. It really was the dagger for this Ice Vols defense last night. Tennessee with a chance, but Clemson's going to try to keep that one away from their goalie. Nice to see that Parker Dietz has the right jersey on this time.
Well, no, I still think this is friend's Josh Bailey's jersey, because he is number 35 on the roster, but number 30 on the ice today.
It's all right. They are a little far away from home. Tennessee's going to let this one ride the boards. And like I said, Tennessee's doing a really nice job keeping this on Clemson's side. You know, give your goalie a break. They, you know, kind of overwhelmed Shine there at the end of last night and got a few more. You know, they got 3 goals in that third period. So Tennessee doing what they need to is Dietz going to block that one. That went right through the legs of Mystery Man. I mean, that's Gavin Dunford for Tennessee.
Is Mystery Man going to be his new nickname for you?
He might have to be. Tennessee in the corner. Clemson's trying to take it back. Referee had to skate out of the way there. That one rides the glass as that puck caught some air. Now Tennessee finds himself on defense here. Back to offense.
Yeah, Clemson just trying to get some substitutions out as they spent a lot of time in their defensive zone on that last Tennessee possession.
And almost 5 minutes into this first period, Tennessee already up 1-0. So the momentum right now, obviously on Tennessee's side because they have the lead. But this is big for Tennessee after last night's performance.
Yeah, Tennessee, they had half the shots on goal as Clemson, and that's just not a winning formula in hockey.
No, it is not, Dom. Meanwhile, they continue to trade blows, going for the puck. Now Tennessee going to lose that one. It's Matt Wallace getting that one off to his Tigers teammate. And we've got a loose puck going down the ice.
That one was a definite icing.
For sure.
We weren't sure about the first one, but I don't know. That puck was so close to not being icing. The Tennessee player, I couldn't see who it was, but he was just past the red line. If he was able to get just the slightest sliver of his stick on that, he would have prevented that icing and maybe gotten a nice offensive zone face-off.
Tennessee. Oh, there goes that puck again.
This time it won't be icing because there was an incomplete pass. The Clemson player tried to catch it, but fell just short.
Tennessee's going to try to regroup here. They're having a nice little teamwork. You know, they have some good chemistry here. Clemson, what a move up the middle. Takes a hit for it. That's Mattis Kurta.
Yeah, nice job by Kurta to just taking himself, and then he got checked there and was not very happy about that.
Off the hands of Sean Steck for Clemson. Now he gets the puck right back, and we get another whistle from the referee as we have a scuffle. And is that number 10 for Clemson, I see, Dom?
It is. Come on, drop the gloves. You know you want to.
Remember, Alex Wallace was one who went down to the floor in last night's game after taking a big shoulder check to what we believe was the chest. We were worried maybe he had a concussion, but he seems to be good.
Yeah, he's very active there in the early going of this. Getting into a little scuffle, as you said. My guess is it's probably going to be interference. They could give him for roughing, but we're going to see what the final verdict is.
So while we wait for the verdict, that's going to give goalie for Clemson, Parker Dietz, a chance to catch his breath here. And he needs that because Tennessee was taking some nice swings at him there just a few moments ago.
All right, the refs are all deliberating. Oh, look at that. Cecil in goal. Getting some nice practice in, I guess.
That was a nice stance.
Yeah, warm-ups weren't enough for him. He just wants to see some action.
And we know Will Shine, last night's goalie, was also warming up if he's needed. But right now, Ben Cecil doing a good job here for the Ice Vols.
There's actually 2 Ice Vols in the penalty box, and it looks like the Tigers are going to get another one with Gus Cedric. See, I can't read their lips from up here, but I mean, at least the penalties are offsetting, so that'll make it a little nicer. I can see Witt for the Ice Vols.
Like I said, it's early. Cold inside and cold outside here if you're joining us on this chilly Sunday afternoon in Knoxville, Tennessee. Tennessee up 1-0 after scoring in the first 2 minutes, something it took them almost 45 minutes to do last night. And we had a little bit of scuffle, but it seems that's been sorted out, and we're getting ready for action once again as both teams take back to the ice and get ready for another face-off.
Looks like they're going to give Clemson a power play. They're over there talking to the coach. Can they give us some cards? Tell us what's going on. That'd be nice.
It would be nice, but nothing as of yet.
Or maybe say something to the PA announcer.
Now, Dom, do you think this little stoppage, do you think this is hurting one side more than the other, or do you think this is just giving both of them a chance to catch their breath and regroup?
Considering how early in the game it is, it's more hurtful for the momentum. But I mean, honestly, there hasn't really been too much momentum, just because neither team has been able to possess the puck for very long. And Clemson's going to have a great chance to do that on the power play.
Yeah, the momentum goes to Clemson as they win that face-off. Doing a little back and forth, trying to set up their offense. That one's going to go way high. Caught some air. Tennessee battling for it. I wouldn't say that was necessarily a hug, but he had his arms wrapped around him. Clemson trying to get close to the net. Can't do it. They're going to lose that puck. We got maybe a little bit of a breakaway. Shot at the goal off to the right.
Great job by Albert to get out there and keep the puck in the Clemson zone so the Ice Vols could get a line change.
And Clemson's goalie's going to stop that one up against the boards, waiting for his teammate. Then he sends it behind his back.
Good forechecking going on by the Ice Vols, and it looks like they're going to get an opportunity here.
Yeah, there's a chance for Tennessee. Hits the goalie's leg, no good.
That was Chris Free on the shot. Could not get it to go.
40 seconds remain on Caleb Kane's penalty.
And it looks like the offsetting penalties that occurred were roughing. We just got that confirmation from the PA announcer.
Little shot into the glass there for that Clemson Ice Tiger. Another shot into the glass. Clemson lines up the shot, blocked. Good stop there for Tennessee. Clemson, though, hanging on to the puck. Now they lose it. Here's an opportunity for Tennessee. Off to the left, or he might have just overshot the bar. That one's no good either. Now Clemson with the chance, but Tennessee's going to cover it. And we're going to get another whistle from the referee.
And the sin bins are now open. Kane wanted to stay on the ice, but it was not his time. He's probably itching to get back out there, you know, after staying 2 minutes, and then you got to stay a little bit extra because of the offsetting penalties. until there's an actual stoppage.
Yeah, that's a long time for Kane, but he's back out. Not on the ice right now, but out of the box. As Tennessee tries to get themselves out of a risky situation. They're able to do so for the time being, and now they've got a chance to maybe get a quick strike here on the Tigers. Someone swung at the puck and missed. Now Clemson's going to bring it down the ice. Tennessee now with the puck. Little back and forth we see a lot here going on, Dom.
Another icing by Tennessee. Clemson's been able to keep that offensive zone pressure, and then Tennessee, they're just trying to get up the ice with some quick offense, but they're just barely missing on some passes, just getting by some sticks and going all the way to the other side. And, you know, that's going to create some tired legs down the line. I know we're only 9 minutes into this game, but that could be something to watch out for in the future of this game.
No, most definitely. We see some new faces in here for Clemson after those earlier substitutions. Solly Kopf is in. Brady DeMace is also in for Clemson, as well as a few others. Tennessee, though, right now at the center of the ice. They lose the puck. Clemson here with a chance. Kind of has to bail on it. They still take the shot, though. Tennessee dodges one. That could have been bad.
That's some great offense there by Gavea, passing it off to his teammate Ralston. And then another nice shot there by Gavea.
Yeah, they took a look at the net, couldn't get it. Tennessee really having to play some defense. Now they get a chance to go on offense as it hits his skate.
Yeah, Kane back out there was not able to keep possession of that puck. That was a very crucial moment, too.
See Cobb doing some zigzagging through some Tennessee defenders. Didn't work. Clemson, though, really has some nice teamwork. Really good chemistry, too.
Matt Wallace was taking on 4 Ice Vols there, and he was able to keep it or get it into the offensive zone and continue to apply pressure.
Doing it all himself as they fight for the puck right there, almost in front of Tennessee's goal. You know, Tennessee can play a little bit aggressive. You have the 1-point lead. It's nice just to have a lead after last night. But you don't want to get too risky and bring Clemson right back into this fight so soon. Behind the back, Tennessee takes over here. Not sure for how much longer, though, as they continue to do a little tango down there for the puck.
You know, one thing I've noticed in the early goings of this game is the Ice Vols, their spacing on the ice have not been very good. Like, they've been able to get some outlet passes, but there's just nobody there.
No, for sure. Caleb Kane also lost his footing, though. But just like a few weeks ago when we saw an Ice Vols player fall and then score a goal 3 seconds later, Kane gets right back up as we see some substitutions come in for Clemson. Dumace getting that one off to his teammate. Modest Curta took an earlier shot into the glass, but he's all good. And that puck is no good as we have another icing.
Yeah, you can kind of see from these Ice Vols, you want to be hustling to prevent that icing, but DeWitt there just making a business decision, not trying to outrun Santiago Diaz.
I guess you could say they're really putting the icing in, you know, Ice Vols with all the icing we've seen.
Okay, now.
Meanwhile, we're going to have another face-off attempt. Clemson gets the win there. May get a goal out of this. If Tennessee's not careful, they do prevent it from happening.
Great physical defense there by Connor Berry. Just owning the front of the net, helping out his buddy Cecila in goal. Checking the Clemson Tigers and keeping the puck away.
So 8 minutes and 30 seconds left here in this first period. Tennessee up 1-0. Clemson once again gets that, takes a shot there, almost into his teammates.
Ice Vols bench wanting a little slash, high stick, any combination of that sort on Diaz there, who took the shot into the boards.
They don't get any of it. Clemson takes a shot. Tennessee also takes a shot. Another shot as they go to the ice. Things are starting to get a little physical here, Dom.
Huge open ice collision there by Alex Wallace. He definitely looks ready to play, and he's amped up today.
Alex Wallace took a shot yesterday. He's already taken a shot and been in the box once today. He's got a lot of heart.
Right there taking a shot was Brady Dumais. Nice, easy save by Ben Ciesla.
So the team's going to have a chance here to talk about it. Not for much longer, though. Meanwhile, Tennessee gets that face-off win. Clemson, though, going to try to sneak one in here. Can't do it. Tennessee's player missed the puck, but he's able to regain control. Nice stick work as they take a shot to the left. No good. Clemson with an opportunity. Tennessee says no. Big collision. Clemson's not afraid to take a hit.
Zimmerman right there just absolutely standing up Palermo behind the net, holding his ground.
Now the Ice Vols trying to get another shot here on Clemson. Little 3v2 action, almost a goal, can't do it. Tennessee, though, keeping this where they want to.
Great action there by Zimmerman and Sackenheim. Almost getting the redirect goal.
And Dietz pushes that one to the right with his glove. Clemson just trying to get this back towards Tennessee. They're going to have their opportunity here. Tennessee, once again, denies them.
Sackenheim not very happy with that turnover. He thought that his stick was held, and, I mean, he had a pretty good case.
Referees didn't agree with him, and I don't think they agreed with you, Dom. As Clemson still trying to get on the board for the first time here today. They're used to scoring a lot of points. Won by 4 last night. Right now down, though, by 1 with 6 minutes left in this first period. Clemson really just playing keep away at this point as Tennessee's just all over their zone.
Yeah, this Ice Vols team looked like a completely different team than last night. They're being very aggressive on the forecheck, and I think that was a point of emphasis going into today's game.
Yeah, whatever coffee they had this morning, it is working. This Ice Vols team is awake and determined to win this one.
I heard that the Dragon Fruit refresher is very popular these days.
I heard so as well. Clemson just trying to get something to work. Tennessee, though, has them locked down in this first period. And if Clemson's not careful, they may go down 2. Dodges one there. As they go back into the Tennessee zone. Here's a little breakaway, 1v1 action, blocked by the goalie. What a stop.
Great save there by Ciesla on the screaming Mattis Kurta coast to coast.
Ciesla putting his entire body on the line twice, 3 times. Clemson, though, gonna get the goal after the 4th attempt.
All of Kurta's effort there paying off, scoring the goal. I think he got at least 4 shots on goal. You know, that in a 5-second span, that leads the league in shot percentage.
Yeah, we talked about that. That's how they, overwhelmed Shine last night. They just kept taking shots after shots, and you can only block so many, Dom. So now Clemson has some life here. Still early in this game. Obviously, we're still in the opening period, but now you've tied it up. Tennessee now kind of loses some of that momentum, maybe not so aggressive now as they try to keep this even. Or they may just try to score a goal here before the end of this one.
And after that goal, there was a penalty by Santiago Diaz. So the Ice Vols are going to get a nice 2-minute power play. I'm not sure what the official verdict was. Maybe we'll hear from the PA announcer here shortly.
Tennessee controlling the puck. As the PA announcer did say something. Hopefully you got that, Dom. Tennessee tried to get one early there on Clemson. Another shot blocked by Dietz. Tennessee not giving up, though. A little bit of back and forth. Here's Kane with the shot. His stick was blocked, though, by a Clemson stick. Tennessee, though, keeping this in the zone. They've got him in a good spot. Just trying to make it all work. Another one. That's Charlie Thomas in there now. He can't get it to go.
Clemson's going to have a good shorthand opportunity here on this breakaway with Curta.
Curta got that first goal for Clemson, trying to get a second one here. Pushed it, though, to the right. Didn't really have a choice.
Well, he tried for the cross crease pass, say that 5 times fast, to Troy Gavea, but Dylan Siegel, senior day, he's playing with extra effort, putting his body on the line to save a goal.
You know, I'm talking about saving a goals. Tennessee thought was going to try to maybe whip one in there. Can't do it. They have him in a good spot, though. Couple players going to the ground. Clemson, and there's a whistle as we've got a scuffle. Well, it's not a scuffle yet, but they collided with the net there. Some
huge hits out there. Matt Wallace, he was protecting his tendy, and I'm not sure who the Ice Vol that was hit there, but we saw the number 7 of Sackenheim come absolutely flying in and dislodge that goal.
Great stop by Sackenheim. And, man, the Wallaces, they are active, at least in this game. We'll see if that continues. You can tell, though, how badly both of these teams won it. Clemson's on that winning streak after really, you know, a bad start to the season with their MTSU blunders. And Tennessee, we just mentioned it, they're on that 2-game losing skid, trying to stop that before they go play, you know, state rival Vanderbilt next week.
Yeah, Clemson next week, they also have an in-state rivalry in the Palmetto Cup against South Carolina with the Gamecocks.
Remember, the South Carolina shut them out last time they faced. So Clemson knows what that's like. Going to try to, you know, fix that, what happened when they last faced off. Now we got a face-off coming up here.
The Ice Vols are going to be 5-on-3. Matt Wallace got that 2-minute minor for cross-checking. So 28 seconds of 5-on-3 action for the Ice Vols. This is going to be a great opportunity. And, you know, Ethan, for a team that's been struggling to possess the puck in the offensive zone, a power play is a great way to level that out and kind of gain your footing so that you can gain some momentum and put on some quality shots instead of just hucking the puck straight at the goal.
No, you bring up a great point. We've seen Tennessee have some quality shots in this game. Their first goal, that was a really good quality shot. They have an opportunity to back that up and pull another one here. Like you said, now on the power play, big opportunity here for the Ice Vols. And they're going to start out right with it, right where they want it. There you go, a goal for the Ice Vols, their second of the game. That's Sackenheim. You said he just prevented a goal, now he just scored a goal.
Instant offense there. 7 seconds into the 5-on-3. There's a great face-off win, and then the Ice Vols just one simple pass, a shot, got deflected, and you know those deflected shots, those are hard to grab as a goalie. So Dietz was in a tough position, couldn't corral the rebound, and then the Ice Vols with Sackenheim was right there at the right place at the right time.
So now Tennessee, once again, for the second time in this game, find themselves out front by 1 goal, 2-1 now. Tennessee now has scored as many as they scored last night across 3 periods compared to 1 in this one. That one going to go off the glass as we get a whistle and a little pushing there.
Yeah, Sackenheim right there in front again, almost got that deflection goal, but it was just a little high and got up into the netting.
Yeah, Sackenheim really making himself a name so far in these last 2 minutes, really 1 minute. As we get ready for action to resume here.
And there's another penalty on Clemson. Santiago Diaz the ref did some sort of like
When he comes back out of the box, Dom, look for Clemson to try to use him. He had 3 goals in that game last night, and he's already hot. We see that as he goes to the bench or goes into the box. Watch out for him when he comes back out. But now Tennessee with another chance, still on this power play. Maybe get another goal.
Yeah, Diaz last night absolutely on fire on this icy weekend, really, in Knoxville.
As Witt getting ready to do the face-off for the Ice Vols.
Out there for the Ice Vols, Witt at center, of course. And then, who else? You know, Ben Ciesla in goal. Sackenheim, one of the goal scorers. He's out there looking to add to his total in quick succession, too.
Yeah, and give some credit. I know it's still early, still a long way to go. Ben Ciesla, though, doing a really great job down there. Didn't play last night. He's thrown in here after really Clemson took everything to Tennessee last night in that game. Ciesla's doing a really nice job for the Ice Vols down there as their goalie. And speaking of goals, there's Sackenheim trying to get his name back in our mouths. Can't do it, though. Tennessee, though, keeping the puck.
That's Felicki. Nice job to keep it from going all the way back, and he's going to try and take it himself.
Tennessee trying to line up a shot. We talked about quality shots. You can see a lot of discipline there in this Ice Vols offense, not just hacking at it, trying to time it up, line it up, and see if you can get it in there. And what's really helping is even if they take a shot and they miss, there's a lot of rebounding going on like you've mentioned, so the puck's really not going far.
Yeah.
That one almost went in, though.
Typically, when you keep the puck close to the goal, good things are going to happen to you when you're on offense. Just because, you know, the goalie's on edge, and then, you know, your boys are hungry to score.
And we're going to get a whistle as Clemson's Dietz falls on that one. So still 31 seconds on Matt Wallace's penalty earlier in this one. So Tennessee still with the man advantage, but not for much longer. But they do have the point advantage right now, leading this one with 1:42 left in this opening period.
They put Santiago Diaz in the box, but it's not for any power play or some sort. I think they just want him away from his teammates.
Little bad blood there, maybe. Like you said, he was on fire last night. Clemson's going to need him to kind of rekindle that spark if they're going to, I mean, really Tennessee, it's kind of shocking after seeing what happened last night to them and just how they couldn't do anything on offense. Really, it's been all Tennessee on offense in this game with a little bit of defense here and there.
Yeah, it's been a very aggressive brand of hockey. As you can see on this forecheck, the Ice Vols is able to get back possession. You know, it just looks like Clemson's just a little tired out there.
Someone needs to get them a cup of coffee. Meanwhile, Tennessee trying to get a goal, goes to the ground, gets back up into the glass. Another big hit.
Great back check there by Dumas, and very unfortunate there is the Ice Vol.
That was Connor Benoit who had the puck and then just lost his grip with the ice.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity, basically one-on-one. And now O'Donnell's going to try and keep it in the offensive zone, and he can't do so.
Now Tennessee finds him trying to be a little bit protective here. You don't want to give up this lead. Only 10 seconds left as we're going to get a whistle. And this is going to give Clemson a chance to maybe even the score up before we have our first stoppage.
Yeah, they're going to say that was a Vinny Barba hand pass. I'm not really sure if I agree with that. It looked like a nice swat, kind of looked like Felix Akpar out there, just swatting the puck forward. But, you know, only 9.6 seconds. Tennessee's got to lock in for to keep this 2-1 lead going into the intermission.
Clemson's going to get the puck. Keeps it on Tennessee's side. Tennessee just going to try to cover this one and run that clock out, which is exactly what they're going to do. And there's our horn. That's the end of your first period. Tennessee's up 2-1. We're going to go down to Charlie Sarafian for a sideline report.
We saw a lot more fights break out towards the end of that first period. Tennessee, though, 2-1 right now, leading the way. We didn't really see this aggression in the first period yesterday. We kind of saw Clemson take control in the first and the second, but now that Tennessee has started to find that spark, they are fired up. We're seeing a lot more puck movement throughout the ice. We're seeing them shoot. We're seeing them score goals. There was a point towards the end of that first period, Connor Benoit, he could have had a wide open look at a possible goal. He slipped. And, I'm sure his teammates are going to give him a hard time for that one. But, ultimately just a fun game down here out there on the ice. We're seeing a lot more chippiness, and I'm sure that's only going to pick up. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Charlie. Great information. And, yeah, Dom, I'm having fun. Are you having some fun after that first period?
Yeah, it's a nice change to last night. It's very fast for the Ice Vols. And, 3 goals in the first period is always nice to see.
Yeah, Tennessee liking this change compared to last night. They go into this first breakage with the lead up 2-1. Don't go far. We'll be back here in just a few minutes for the second period. This is the Tennessee Club Sports Network. got some moves.
He's got some pretty good stick handling for a defenseman.
Yeah.
That's a nice poke check.
We welcome you back here to the second period. You're listening, or you're watching the Tennessee Club Sports Network. 3 minutes in, we had some technical difficulties here, but that's all good. We'll blame it on the cold. Clemson had some opportunities to score a goal, didn't get it. Tennessee, Sackenheim, almost had him another goal just a moment ago, but collided with the goalie, wasn't good. So we remain where we left off, really, in that end of the first period, 2-1 Tennessee, as Cecil is going to stop that one with his stick. Clemson had a chance there.
Very close out in front there by Sean Keane. Great chance.
And Tennessee's chance evaporates after they sent that one wide.
I like the expanded vocabulary there, Ethan.
Yeah, I'm trying some new things.
You taking up reading as your New Year's resolution?
No, but yeah.
What does that mean?
Clemson with the puck, bringing it into the Tennessee zone. You see Barry there, tried to steal it, wasn't able to grab it for himself. But they are going to get the puck anyway with a little bit of teamwork and chemistry as they now go down the ice. That's Barry with the puck, shot blocked by Dietz.
John White had some very nice acrobatics, and looks like his hamstring might be a little tight from that. But just to stay onside and keep the puck in the offensive zone, Tennessee's going to try and possess it here.
The Ice Vols, here he comes, can't do it. Clemson with the possession change as they go down the ice. A little bit of sliding, obviously with the environment, that's to be expected. And Cecil, as to be expected, continuing to do his job in goalie, keeping that puck from going in any further after that opening or that early goal they gave up in that first period. Tennessee back and forth, just trying to get out of the corner. They do. And now they're going to go back into the corner. As we see Connor Benoit back there in the game. He had that earlier fall towards the end of the first period. Good to see him good.
And then a nice steal there on defense. That both teams get some chance to get some fresh legs out on the ice.
And that one's going to get away from him as the referee going to call an icing.
Yeah, that was a show of Tennessee trying to keep this aggressive pace going. We saw Chris Free right there just get onto the ice, just barely on the blue line, and he was not able to corral the high, fast pass, and that's going to go for an icing.
So we once again are going to be in a face-off. Clemson gets the battle win, as Tennessee is going to remain here. Well, they're going to actually steal the puck now as a couple guys go down to the ice, immediately right back up. It helps if you slide, Dom. You can just, get yourself right back up, go after the puck.
Yeah, you can see some pretty cool seamless transitions from falling to getting up, and you can actually keep your momentum pretty well in comparison to, well, really any other sport.
Brady DeMace gets whacked into the glass. But I believe that might have been Chris Free. He was attacking, trying to get the puck. That is Kane who does get the puck. Now Clemson back with it. Trying to line up a shot here. Decides to bail on it. Going to let it ride the boards, reset.
Steck did his job right there. Get it into the offensive zone and then get out for a shift change.
And Tennessee's defense did their job, keeping that one from being a goal, as we're going to get another whistle.
Yeah, I think that was Herman just trying to throw the puck onto the net, and then it was a nice job. Oh, it was actually Michael McClory. Thanks for that correction, Ethan.
No problem. Yeah, Bryce Herman, one of these stars here for this Ice Vols team, is not playing in this game. McClory doing a good job, though, filling in for his shoes. I guess skates in this sense.
Almost quite literally filling it into his jersey.
True. Clemson almost lost the glass.
Great offensive opportunity right here.
We'll see what the Tigers can do here as Tennessee now takes control of the possession. Now they're going to fight for the puck. Ice Vols player goes down to the ground, gets back up. This has been a really physical matchup. Do you believe it's more physical than last night, Dom?
It's hard to say. There were a lot of really big collisions last night, but oh, look at that. Right on cue. Kane right there with a nice hit on Sean Kane and Kane.
Yeah. Up around the corner, Sackenheim he turns that one over as Clemson here has a chance trying to tie this one up. They're going to continue to fight for it. Tennessee, they're in a really awkward position if you're the Ice Vols, but luckily they're able to get out of that alive. There's a big hit, there's a whistle, and we may have a guy going to the penalty box, Dom.
Yeah, Dylan Siegel was just getting a little too antsy there. A lot of pucks that were sent very close to the net. Dylan Siegel, the senior, getting away with, not getting away with, I'm not sure if that was boarding or cross-checking. I don't think it was interference because he had the puck.
Yeah, so Dylan Siegel, the first Ice Vols player to score a goal in this game, is also the first one to go to the box here in this second period. As that's going to put Clemson on the power play for 2 minutes.
Clemson was very effective on their power play opportunities last night, putting a lot of pressure on the Ice Vols goaltender of last night, who was Shine.
Cecila trying to prevent what happened to Shine, as you mentioned last night, doing a good job in this game, keeping his composure, not getting too far out of his box, and just maintaining where he needs to be and maintaining his job as he, prevents that one from going in. Yes,
Cecila with the baseball season coming up, he was showing that he can flash some leather with the glove. He looked like a nice second baseman there, fielding a line drive straight at him.
So we're going to get another face-off. Wasn't a clear winner out of that one, but it's going to go to Tennessee.
Nice job there by White, using the glass very effectively with the puck to get it all the way back on Clemson's side of the ice.
Now Clemson's going to have to get all that ground. They do basically make it up, though, within seconds as Tennessee finds himself on the defensive end.
Yeah,
just trying to keep Clemson from, tying this game back up.
Tennessee's penalty kill method has been keeping a tight box, make it very hard to get in front of the goal, so that makes shots from the point angled to be, a little easier for Cecila to see, because those are typically the harder shots.
Tennessee brings some substitutions in. Fresh bodies on the ice as they're still down one man. Clemson on the power play, really not being able to do anything with it, though. As like you said, this little box defense they're running, there really isn't much space for Clemson to try to maneuver to get closer towards that net where they need to be. Seen some discipline here, not just swinging at it, trying to make something happen, just keeping possession. That one gets away from him, but he's able to get back on it.
Great pressure there by DeWitt on Sean Steck.
Steck loses his helmet.
That was an absolutely electric defensive to offensive possession there by DeWitt.
Have you seen many helmets fly off in your time here doing commentary for hockey?
I think this is a first for this level. I saw quite a few with the Ice Bears a few years back, but I mean, nothing like that, because, in professional hockey, you don't need that full college hockey mask. So they're a lot easier to come off. So, a hit like DeWitt just made right there takes a lot of force.
And I believe we had a stick break. Someone lost the end of their stick as Clemson's going to lose the end of their power play. Tennessee back on the ice at full strength. And exactly when they need it to be, because Clemson has a chance here trying to line it up. Went right through his legs, though, or he might have just honestly missed the puck. Hard to tell as they're in the corner fighting for it now behind the net. believe that's Kane bringing it up the ice. A lot of Clemson Tigers around him. And Dietz just going to knock that one off to the left, let his team decide what they want to do with it.
Good chance for the Ice Vols coming out of the penalty kill to keep the puck in the offensive zone and get some fresh bodies out there.
Sackenheim, little spin move. Couldn't get to the puck, though, in time. But who is getting in time is Kane. He wants that puck, can't get it that time. As Barry now, been a little bit since we mentioned him. He's back in there. Clemson trying to get back in the game with a shot, no good.
Curtis' shot went just wide, and I think it might have barely tipped the glove of Ciesla.
Ciesla doing everything he can right there again, going to his knees, preventing that puck from sliding in behind him. Once more, Ciesla finds himself in a good scenario as his team is, defense is able to get that puck now down the ice. Tennessee kind of just a slap shot there and didn't get it.
One thing I've noticed in the first 10 minutes and 31 seconds of this second period is Clemson's shots, they've been able to get some long rebounds. In the first period, we saw a lot of the Ice Vols generated offense came from rebounds that just stayed around the net, and that creates a lot of, nervousness for the goaltender. And then everybody just kind of crashes in, and then you can't really see where the puck is as a goalie.
No, for sure. I agree with you, Dom. It's Clemson almost lost the puck. They do. Tennessee regains possession, and they're going to send that one flying down the ice. A couple new faces in here for Tennessee once again. One of them go down to the ice. That's Benoit. Second time he's lost his balance in this one. He's not the only one, though. We've seen a lot of people go down in this game so far as we get a little stoppage there. And, Dom, something I want to talk about. Right now, the score, right? It's a one-point game. Tennessee's up by that 1 point. But if we look at the shots on the goal, 9-10, it's been really close. I mean, the score shows how this game's gone.
Yeah, there's been a ton of shots. Only 19 of them have been on goal, though. So the goalies, their eyes have been working a lot, but their pads may not have gotten the recognition that we would think.
Clemson doing a little in between there on a couple Tennessee defenders, trying to get to the goal. Almost did it all by himself. The puck got stolen from him at the last second. That was Gus Hedrick trying to be a one-man army. Clemson, though, keeping Tennessee a little bit nervous. You have the lead, but you don't really want to lose it right now. You're in a good spot, being able to push the aggression down the ice. That's what they continue to do. Benoit going to be the first Ice Vol to get to it. But he doesn't hang on to it as Clemson regains it. Loose puck, fighting for it in the corner. Tennessee comes out with it, almost was stolen. Tennessee with a chance, gets swallowed up by two Ice Tigers. They're going to hang in there for the goal, not giving up. Dietz has his work cut out for him in this one. And he's able to get away from.
Yeah, that short possession right there was kind of what I was mentioning earlier, keeping the puck close to the goalie, making Dietz uncomfortable. We saw him laying flat on his back, not even knowing where the puck was. But a nice job of determination to get back up on his feet to save a couple of shots.
Little disagreement up there on the ice. That was actually Sackenheim who was in a little shoving match. Charlie Sarafian, what do you got for us after that breakage?
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been a lot of a slower period. We've seen a very slow start, honestly, between both of these teams. It's been stagnant. The defense has picked up a lot, but I see both teams starting to figure each other out. Tennessee, they're getting a lot of better chances. If you look at the shots on goal, they're nearly even, 11-10. Now, Clemson, if you see them, they are definitely being very aggressive and not allowing Tennessee to really get inside that neutral zone. But the Ice Vols want to pick it up. They're going to continue to have to find that puck and just continue as we see a good look there, but they're going to have to just continue to get good looks and sneak into the middle. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you for that continued coverage there, Charlie, as our sideline reporter. Last night he was doing some commentary. Now he's down there on the ice for us, giving us the info as Clemson trying to get something going here against Tennessee, still trailing by 1. Time running out in this second period. Charlie mentioned how Tennessee wanting to pick up the aggression here. They're doing so. Big hit into the glass. Kane is not messing around.
Huge hit there. Matt Franco on the receiving end of that.
And Cecil going to cover that one up with his glove and the rest of his body. And we got a little tempers going on here in the corner. Teammate's going to break that one up.
One of the head referees talking over there to Will Ralston, starting center tonight or today for the Ice Tigers. I think he's going to be talking to him about some holding on that last face-off. He just kind of like, he didn't hold it with his hands, but he kind of like locked his elbows on the Ice Vols center's stick. I'm not sure who did that face-off. I think it was Ben Felica who is in it for the face-off here too.
Yeah, there is a goal off the face-off for Clemson, and it's none other than Sully Kopp. And now we're tied up. That aggression now for Tennessee, suddenly you kind of got to, retract it. As it's now a tie game, once again, Clemson back in this one early.
Talk about a quick strike offense. Win the faceoff and get that one-timer. I mean, he almost knocked Ben Cecil's water bottle off the cage.
Tennessee going to get that off the center faceoff, off the hand. Dietz just caught it as if he was a wide receiver out there. Big hit into the glass for both Ice Vols player and Ice Tigers player. As Tennessee trying to, respond to that quick strike offense with one of their own. Clemson, though, going to shut them down. They actually lost the puck, though, Sackenheim. Dom, you just know he wanted to swing at that one.
Yeah, he's been hot today. Very involved on offense. And it looks like we're going to get an icing there. Good effort there by the Tennessee defenseman and then John White.
So now the game's changed, right? Clemson's now tied this up. Tennessee no longer in the lead. Obviously, we still have a whole nother period left to play after this. But now Clemson's in this one. Tennessee, like we said, going to have to pull back that aggression and go back more towards that defensive. Because we saw it happen. Clemson, 3 goals in 4 minutes, I believe it was, last night. You can't let them get the edge on you.
Yeah, Clemson, very fast team. Tennessee's been able to slow them down, at least on the offensive side, and then speed them up with their decision-making to create turnovers.
Tennessee right there at the net. They had a look. Another look. Can't do it, though. Missed opportunity for the Ice Vols. So they go down the ice. Clemson bringing the heat. Cecil. That one came at him so fast. It hit his glove and then popped out.
Yeah, but it was a nice job to recognize that the puck was not firmly in his glove and just freeze it up, because, I've been harping on all game those short rebound opportunities, even though right there it was in transition, so the threat level was not quite there.
Meanwhile, the threat level for Tennessee at an all-time high right now. Clemson trying to get the lead for the first time in this game. Hard to believe after what we saw from their team last night. But a lot can change, in 12 hours. Tennessee showing that. Clemson showing their muscle, though. They're not willing to give up just yet, especially with plenty of time still in this game.
As Charlie mentioned, the teams feeling each other out, kind of going stagnant offensively. Tennessee, I've noticed it a lot more for Tennessee than for Clemson. Just really shots that don't even affect Dietz. in goal.
Speaking of Dietz, Jake Free shot at the goal, blocked off the hand of Dietz. So add it to another one on the counter for the shots on the goal as we get ready for another face-off. Clemson gets that one quick.
If the Ice Vols want to reverse this momentum, they're just going to have to like stop Clemson and then, collaborate and then listen to each other on defense.
Tennessee almost had one right there. Off to the left. Keep the puck, though. Now Clemson going to take it right back. As we're going to get another icing.
Yeah, Clemson, they're on defense. They're kind of getting a little antsy. They're just trying to get the puck out as fast as possible. And it's seeming like they don't really care if it's icing or not with 3 minutes and 41 seconds left in the second period.
Tennessee going to try another one. Reminder that the Ice Vols, they haven't scored in this second period, so really mission accomplished if you're Clemson so far. You tied it up, and you've kept Tennessee from the net. So far, there's still 3:30 left in this one. Tennessee now with a chance. Lost the puck. Almost had a goal, but they didn't.
I think there might be a penalty there.
Wouldn't be the first time in this game.
Because I didn't see Dietz freeze it. Now I wonder, since it was a nice cross-crease pass there, to see if it'll be a penalty shot. They're not going to give it. The ref is just going to say, we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it going. No foul play there.
Tennessee's going to have a chance. Clemson, though, that quick offense gets the puck down to Tennessee's zone. Clemson had a chance there to get it back. Lost it. There's the shot. Was going to go right. Then it went left. And then we almost lost the glass again. And there was a goal right there for Tennessee, but the player fell down as he took the shot.
Yeah, Albert was so wide open in front of the net. I mean, you could have fit a semi-truck in that gap that he lost his footing, was unable to finish and give Tennessee the goal lead.
Yeah, I like to say missed opportunities a lot. That, though, was a missed opportunity for Tennessee. Almost a guaranteed, regain the lead, if you will. But instead, we're going to stay tied up with time running out in this second period, 2:20 left. As Tennessee thought Cecil was going to come up. He's not, though. He's going to let his own teammate decide what he wants to do.
This has been a back-breaking last 2 minutes for the Ice Vols. Great chances on offense, and it was just mental errors. And, maybe a little physical error with falling down.
Cecil went to his knees thinking he'd have to block it. He will. Ooh, Cecil really got his work cut out for him again. He's on his back just trying to figure out where the puck is. And they're going to give Clemson potentially a goal. Maybe not, Dom.
No, Cecil there making himself big on the ground, covering as much of that goal line as he could. And then Silly Koff tried to get a second goal in the period, but Cecil was right there, and just like putting on the deodorant in the morning, stopped that puck with his armpit.
That was all Cecil right there in front of the net, on his back, using his arm, just trying to keep that puck from going in. And he manages it. And Tennessee manages to keep this an even score.
Yeah, at some point in that possession, Ben Cecil was just on the ground doing some snow angels on the ice.
Tennessee trying to keep this puck from going in. They do. Now Clemson's got a decision here. Do you want to try to push it and get the lead, or do you want to just go in here tied? But Tennessee, they were wanting the goal.
Great chance. I think Siegel there was a little too greedy. You know, the senior on senior day, he had his teammate, Billy Scurbia, right cross crease. I apologize, that was Ben Felicki, cross crease, just waiting for that pass so that he could get a more favorable shot. But a great save by Dietz.
Really great save. Clemson. But there's a goal anyway for Tennessee. And they're fired up down there, jumping on the glass.
Dylan Siegel, number 22, 2 goals today. Nice job by the senior. And then his senior buddies over there in that corner had a great view of it. Siegel, you know, off that pass. Nice shot over the goalie's glove. Top cheddar. And then nice job celebrating, jumping into the boards.
Yeah, I just mentioned Clemson had a decision. Did they want to try to take this, you know, to the final break tied, or do they want to go for it? Tennessee made that decision for them, and now Tennessee with the lead. 1 minute left here in this second period. The Ice Vols, it took them the entire period, Dom, but they finally get a goal.
Yeah, Tennessee the past 2 games, a lot of late goals in the period. You know, last night, scoring with 7 seconds left. Right here, Dylan Siegel with 1 minute and 1 second left to put the Ice Vols up 3-2.
So Cecila freezes that one. It's going to be another face-off, 42 seconds left. It's not safe yet for Tennessee, but Clemson, once again, they kind of have this decision. What do they want to do? Obviously, they're going to want to score. But Tennessee doing some nice maneuvers there.
And that puck is going to deflect into the Tennessee bench. We're going to get a face-off in the neutral zone. I think Tennessee, they're actually going to give it a Tennessee offensive zone face-off. So I was going to say Tennessee will have a nice opportunity to just possess the puck in their own zone and kind of run this clock out. But now that they're on offense, they could add yet another late goal this period.
Yeah, you've got another chance to score. 15 seconds to go. Clemson, though, not backing down. That one wasn't a bad pass. I think it was just blocked and sent askew. There's Clemson. Sheets just trying to get out of this one alive. And there's the horn. He makes it. Clemson makes it. And Tennessee makes it a 1-point advantage going in to this final period. Dom, how are you feeling about Tennessee and how are you feeling about Clemson right now?
You know, I think both teams I think they heard Charlie down there talking about stagnant offense, very close on the shot discrepancy. And, I mean, we're still close on the shots, but 19-18. So in the past, 8.5 minutes, we saw a total of 16 shots, or 17 shots, actually.
Yeah, and speaking of shots, let's just talk about Tennessee first. They only got 2 goals last night, right? You have 3 right now. You talked about maybe the garbage time goal with, 6 seconds left in the game. And I hear Charlie has something for us.
Yeah, guys, it was honestly an action-packed period. Towards the end of it, we saw Clemson tie it up. It was a brilliant goal, and then we saw Tennessee come right back down on the other side. So now we've got a tie hockey game once again. Key of the game for Tennessee, continue being aggressive, be strong on the forecheck, get the puck down the ice, pass, no silly mistakes. All of the goals from Clemson yesterday came from Tennessee mistakes. We saw Clemson score on that 5-on-3 yesterday when they were down 2 men. So you got to be careful on the power play. Don't give up any shorthanded goals. And then Tennessee, when you are on the power play, take advantage of it. Now, Clemson on their end, they just need to stop Tennessee from getting inside and getting shots down in the middle. We've seen them create so many opportunities, especially from Wallace, just getting down low and disrupting that top line from the Vols. Ultimately, it's going to be an action-packed third period. What a hockey game. Back to you guys.
Perfectly said, Charlie. Dom, it is going to be an action-packed third period. You're watching the Tennessee Club Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a crazy fight to the finish here in Knoxville. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Tennessee Club Sports Network, getting ready for the third and final period here in Knoxville, Tennessee. The Ice Vols lead 3-2 over the Clemson Ice Tigers. Dom, how we feeling in this last period? Tennessee up 1.
You know, the latter half of that second period, very fast-paced. We saw 2 goals and a bunch of shots. So if that's any indication of what our third period is going to be like here on Hockey Top, I think we're in for a great finish to this 3-2 puck game.
Yeah, I agree. And in the final 20 minutes, there's no more mulligans. This is it. This is your last 20 minutes to make or break whether you're going to win or lose this game. And right now, Tennessee has the lead, getting ready for center faceoff. And this is it here in Knoxville. Last period underway. Tennessee wins that faceoff. And Dietz may get some early time to shine. Yeah, they don't really need him right now, actually. Tennessee gonna try to set one up, riding the boards. Chris Free going for it. Didn't get it. But Barry backs him up. Loses the puck anyway. Here comes that aggressiveness from Clemson. Doesn't work that time.
Troy Gevia just barely missing the mark on that 3-on-2 breakaway for the Tigers.
And, you know, Charlie mentioned it right now. Aggression is the name of the game for not only Tennessee, but also Clemson. Really, the goal at this point, get the puck off your side of the zone for as long as possible. And there's a goal for the Ice Vols. I'm going to be honest, Dom, I didn't see it. Who was it? Tell me.
It was Joe DeWitt there. A nice breakaway. He just took it coast to coast and then put the nice little moves on Dietz and was able to get it over his pad and into the goal to extend this lead to 4-2. Biggest lead of the game for, well, Tennessee, because they're the only team that had a lead, but
they have been the only team, but it's all good. Tennessee now up by 2. Clemson, they're going to have to figure out what they want to do with that aggression, right? It kind of cost you a goal there, but it's only 2 points. It's only a 2-point deficit. You still have 18.5 minutes to go. Plenty of time to get back in it and tie this one back up. But the thing for Clemson is they haven't had the lead in this game. Tennessee right now, all the momentum.
yeah, and Clemson's going to have to take a page out of Tennessee's book. You know, as Charlie said in that intermission interview, Tennessee's forecheck has been really nice, and it's worked out for them, getting 4 goals in this game. Almost another one right there.
Yeah, Tennessee trying to make this 5 quickly. As an Ice Vol player, I thought he was gonna maybe throw a punch there. That shot off the mark to the left. Clemson now with the puck, loses it. They didn't have it very long there. As Tennessee, now with that 2-point lead, you can kind of play keep away, run some of that clock off, and kind of prevent how much time Clemson has in this last period to try to get those 2 goals just to tie this game.
But, you know, why would you go away from something that has been working for you in this game and take your foot off the gas? You just want to keep it going.
Hagan and Thomas keeping the puck going, but they're going to lose it anyway, but it's still a good try. As Clemson comes down the ice, that one's blocked. Looked like kind of like a field goal. We've seen that in college football recently, going wide right, as well as the pros. But Tennessee keeps Clemson from getting a goal right there.
Missed field goals are they're a sore subject here. Let's
yeah, that a little too soon maybe.
Well, it'll never be a good time when you're around us, Ethan.
That's true. Good time, though, to be a Clemson Ice Tiger as they get a goal and now make it a 1-point deficit.
Will Ralston right there in front of the net. You know, there was a short rebound, and he was just able to capitalize with the goal. very quick answer for the Ice Tigers.
There's your quick strike offense that you mentioned earlier. And Clemson now only down 1 point. And that was only about a minute and a half after Tennessee just got their goal. So we've seen this Clemson offense, how dangerous it can be for Tennessee. They're showing it right now. They can still play aggressive if you're the Ice Vols, but you know, keep it in check, limit the mistakes. Charlie mentioned the mistakes. That's what killed Tennessee last night. They're going to try to prevent, you know, doing any right here when it matters most. Meanwhile, Clemson at this point, nothing to lose. Go for it. At least get yourself back in this game. Tie it up. Shot at the goal, no good.
You know, Ethan, Clemson is a very good third period team. Last night, we saw them score 3 goals. Tonight, already won in the first 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, and Ben Ciesla preventing the goal. Clemson going to come right back at him. A little bit of a delay there, but they're still not giving up. Ciesla's not giving up on the play either. Staying with it until the end.
Will Ralston tried to get himself another one with a cheeky backhand. I think he would have been better off passing it off to Colby Carey down low, who had a better angle at the shot. But he was hungry for getting a second goal in as many minutes.
Clemson going to get the puck right there at the center ice. Back to the Tennessee zone. That's Barry running around the boards. Gets it to his teammate. That's White. Little lined up shot here for Clemson. And that's, I'm not going to call it a scuffle, but they're fighting for it over in the corner.
Yeah. Reese.
And after that 4th goal for Tennessee, despite Clemson making it a 1-point game, we've had a goalie change in there for the Ice Tigers. AJ Faris in there now at goalie, so we'll see what he can do.
You know, it's kind of hard to see the switch in goalies when all they do is switch the jerseys. And I think that's even the same helmet that Parker Dietz had on.
They just like sharing.
Hey, sharing is caring, especially when you're on the road. It gives you a lot of camaraderie with your teammates, that's for sure.
Exactly, and little teamwork there between Tennessee as they try to get the puck towards the center of the net. Couldn't do it, went to the left. Tennessee with a shot towards the net, no good. Chris Free almost broke that one free from Kopp, who got a goal earlier for Clemson. And Tennessee shuts that one down.
Well, there was a delayed penalty there on Chris Free. I think they're going to get him with a slashing or a hooking. But yeah, you just can't do that in that situation. They are going to get him with the hooking. Clemson Tigers, you know, they've already had 6 shots in the first 5 minutes and 14 seconds, and now they're back on the power play. They're very effective, and this is just, you know, is this going to be one of the Tennessee mistakes that Charlie was talking about, and we're going to see Clemson capitalize?
So after that mistake from Free, he now finds himself no longer free in the box with the power play coming up for Clemson, as the refs are going to delay us just a little bit longer. All good, though. We've got nowhere to be. This is a good one here in Knoxville. Tennessee up 1 with 14:44 left. If you're just joining us, it's been a back-and-forth game, mostly controlled by Tennessee, but Clemson never has really been out of the fight. Tennessee's just had some quick goals on them that have kind of caught them off guard a little bit.
Yeah, Clemson's very resilient, and they play very rapidly, too. So they're able to overcome any sort of deficit, so they never feel like they're out of the game.
Coming down the ice, that's Matt Wallace. They're going to go back and forth, trying to find an open lane. That was a nice pass, almost a nice shot from Wallace. But once again, just too much air.
It's a nice job by Ciesla in goal. Making that shot have too much air. Angling his blockers up. I mean, I would like to see him freeze that, But, you know, it's essentially the same exact thing when you angle it up and it bounces up into the netting behind the net.
So 1:20 left on the power play here for Clemson. And they're just kind of get their team set back up, kind of fake Tennessee out a little bit. Maybe thought they were going to catch the goalie sleeping with that hesitation. But now Clemson, well, now it's Tennessee who has the puck. And once again, they just sling it down the ice, wasting some time.
Nice job on this penalty kill. They've already killed a minute, and Clemson really hasn't done anything other than that Matt Wallace shot that went into the netting.
There's Ralston. He already has one goal, almost had a second one earlier, like Dom mentioned. And now it's him versus Tennessee as his teammate tried to get him the puck. Had to go all the way around, though. And we have another whistle as the net actually gets moved.
Yeah, that was a nice opportunity to score there by Troy Gavea with Will Ralston right next to the net. He was in position for that deflection. He just couldn't get stick to puck and redirect that to go into the goal instead of into Ciesla's glove.
Yeah, and Ciesla's going to wait for the ref to fix it, and we're all good. Only 28 seconds left for Clemson with this power play. Not able to do anything with it just yet, but we've seen Clemson's quick strike offense score off these face-offs. Almost had a breakaway there for Tennessee as that puck was just waiting to be scooped up.
We've talked about Tennessee mistakes right there. Pretty big mistake by Clemson, wasting another easily 10 seconds by having to regroup in the neutral zone. And then, you know, very late in this power play, they were just trying to get something on net, and that might have been the easiest save of the night for Ciesla.
The night's not over, though. He still has 13, or just a little over 13 minutes to try to hold Clemson off. The Ice Tigers not giving up in this one. Chris Free, though, breaks free from the box, and going to be an early whistle as soon as he gets onto the ice. But now Tennessee back up to full strength with that 1-point lead.
Tennessee gonna have to play some inspired defense. They have been heavily outshot this third period. Only 2 shots for the Ice Vols compared to 9 for the Tigers.
Yeah, Clemson really making Ciesla have to work for this one. Gonna have another one there. He once again deflects that one outward. Back and forth, the Tigers go. Ciesla off his stick, gets that one out of harm's way. Tennessee really just trying to control the puck and prevent, like you said, how many shots on goal the Tigers are bringing to their goalie, Tennessee's goalie, that is. Tennessee doing a nice job there, gaining possession, trying to do something with it. On the reflection, just went past the net. And one of Tennessee's players going to jump the wall.
That was a pretty cheeky clear right there. Catching the Ice Vols off guard with the line change. Able to get it in their offensive zone, but they can't do anything with it.
Tennessee kind of just fires one, trying to set one up, goes to the ice. That was a long slide for Kane. But he's back up. Clemson back down the ice. And that was a nice steal by Tennessee's defense.
Yeah, Kane on that previous breakaway, him along with the entire Ice Vols bench were wanting a penalty shot because Kane ended up on his backside just sliding down the ice like he was sledding down a hill.
And that was Zimmerman earlier in there for Tennessee who had that deflection. Here's a little shot and a goal for the Ice Vols.
Ben Felicki gives the Ice Vols their 5th goal of the afternoon.
Yeah.
And puts the Ice Vols up 2 goals once again with the the answer to Clemson's last goal.
And remember, he's in for Andrew Livingstone, who's out for, we're not sure why he's out, but he's not playing in this game, just like Herman's not in, and you know, the 79 numbers are switched in for someone else, the 86 is switched in for someone else, and the 86 with a big play for the Ice Vols in this third period. Clemson may have had a chance there, but the player they were trying to get it to was a ghost. He wasn't there. And so that pass goes wide. And really a wasted possession for Clemson. And there's a whistle.
I think Mattis Kurta, he's playing a little feisty out there. He got caught offside, and he's itching to get back on offense and get another goal for himself.
Yeah, like you said, Kurta, he got that opening goal for this Clemson team. And he may be the one they need to get a goal right there. Off to the right. And that was White right there, going for it, trying to get the puck. Tennessee gets it anyway. They go to the ground.
Some physical defense there by Hagen on the back check.
And
Nice job to go defense to offense for the Vols.
Yeah, and at this point, defense is important for Tennessee. You have the 2-point lead. Don't give it up like you just did. And, you know, bring Clemson back into striking distance. Make them have to make the play. And just don't make the mistake. Big hit for Thomas as he gets into a DeMace. And Barry, a little back shove to Wallace, who puts the brakes on and almost gets a goal against Ciesla. But Ciesla, once again, is perfect as we get in a little pushing going on towards the glass. Referee going to come in there and break that one up.
Yeah, Brady DeMice, he had that huge hit. And, I mean, it's a little controversial. He had his hands up close to the mask of the Tennessee player. I couldn't quite see who it was. I think it might have been Charlie Thomas who took a tumble, and Thomas's teammates were not taking that lightly.
Meanwhile, Tennessee, with this lead, they're trying to not take that lightly as you have a huge advantage up 2 compared to 1. And as much as we're seeing defense from Tennessee, we're also seeing some aggression on offense. I think they remembered what Clemson did to them last night off of those mistakes that they had.
Yeah, they've definitely cleaned up their passes and their stick handling. But we're going to see in this third period if it'll be enough.
And referee, believe he's going to blow this one dead before the goal. Clemson, though, had a chance to get one there on Ciesla as he was in a haymaker, really.
Yeah, he had to make a weird save where he just like put both of his hands out in front of his goalie mask, and then he somehow ended up on the ice, and the puck was getting thrown around, and the ref couldn't see it, so he just froze it because a split second later, the puck ended up in the back of the net. So very lucky break there for the Ice Vols.
Clemson gets the puck. Tennessee with the deflection. I don't know if that hit his foot or the stick, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Ciesla thought about freezing that one, decided not to. Tennessee's going to try to take it up the ice. Clemson trying to take it away. They do. Momentarily, Tennessee, though. I believe that's Kane going around the boards, getting it over to his teammate. And the longer they spend up against the boards fighting for the puck, it's just less time the Tigers have to find those 2 points just to tie this game back up.
Yeah, you can kind of see how Clemson is playing their offense and their forecheck, that they're really getting nervous that they won't be able to come back in this game.
2 big checks into the glass. Kane with a big shot towards the goal. Excuse me, that was Chris Free. who sends a man tumbling.
He sent a Wallace brother just straight to the ground after the Wallace brother tried to lay the hit.
So the Wallace brothers not having a good time here in this last minute, going up against Tennessee's defense. There's a strike and a score for Sackenheim. His second of the evening now gives Tennessee a 3-goal lead late in this third period.
Sackenheim, he's been looking for that second goal of the game pretty much exactly when he got that first one. And it finally comes to fruition. And, you know, the Ice Vols' last 3 goals have come 2 shots after their previous goal. So, who knows, maybe they'll take another 2 and put it up to 7 and beat Clemson's 6 goals of last night.
Yeah, Charlie mentioned it in that sideline report last period. Limit the mistakes. That was what Tennessee had to do to try to hold Clemson off and win this game. And right now, up 3, doing just that. But most importantly, Dom, not wasting those shots, timing them up, lining them up, and doing a great job getting the puck into the net. Meanwhile, for Clemson, actually, that was Tennessee who loses a stick, picks it right back up. But Clemson, their goalie able to. Now Clemson coming down the ice. Cecil using his hand to freeze that one.
Yeah.
And Charlie, I hear you have something else for us. What do you got?
Yeah, guys, thank you. Now, Tennessee, a commanding lead. Things have gone out of hand since the last break, 6-3. The Ice Vols are rolling. The offense looks like it always has been. More of a characteristic game for Tennessee. Clemson has just allowed the Tennessee Ice Vols to get on the inside. Is another good save from Cecil. That's another thing I want to point out. Ben Cecil, he is now waking up. He looks very comfortable back there between the 6 for the Ice Vols. Right now, it's looking like the Tigers might get sent back to Clemson, South Carolina without a kill. Back to you.
Thank you, Charlie. And I don't know if we really throw around MVP around here in this type of league, but you could give it to Sackenheim for his goals, or you could give it to Cecil for his saves, as Clemson gets one of their own right there.
Yeah, Cecil's definitely not going to get MVP after giving up that goal right there. Santiago Diaz, 4th goal of the weekend, only 1st goal tonight. I thought he was going to play a much bigger role, but I think that being put in the box early in the first period a few times, it kind of took him, not just him, but also Clemson out of their groove. Santiago Diaz, he is a kickstarter for this Clemson Tigers offense. And maybe that goal right there is going to kickstart them to maybe a really good comeback in the last 6 minutes, 17.
It could. Most of these goals, if not all, for Clemson have been off these little quick bursts from a face-off. Clemson's going to not fire one, but just kind of send one down the ice, kind of put Tennessee into some panic mode a little bit. Going to try to get another one. Cecil falls on it. I think he's back in the MVP running.
One more save puts you back in the MVP.
It could. With 6 minutes left, Tennessee still up by 2 goals. As we're going to have another face-off attempt. This is where you have to watch out for Clemson. They're going to have a shot. Cecil. Another stop.
Troy Gavea, the captain of this Clemson team, he has been absolutely dominant on face-offs. He's only lost 1 tonight. So his face-off percentage up in the 90%, which if he kept that up for the entire season would be #1 in the league.
And Clemson won that one again, but it bounced off his stick. Luckily, they had another man behind it, but a missed chance there for Clemson as they had a perfectly lined up shot on Cecil. And Clemson's makes a mistake of their own.
The tempo of this game has really shifted towards Clemson's fast-paced play, and Tennessee's going to have to stay composed and work together if they're going to want to close out the last 5.5 minutes to secure the win.
And there's a whistle from the referee. Free making some contact with an Ice Tigers. And we're talking about Cecil. One thing I've noticed about Cecil, really putting his body right against that pole, just doing everything he can. If he has to, you know, bounce sides, he can, keeping himself on that bar and protecting the net with his entire body. Clemson's shot gets deflected to the right. Now it's going to ride the boards. Tennessee's going to bring the pressure. They do get the steal. Going to maybe take a shot. No, they're going to be smart with it. Sackenheim goes to the ground, gets back up. He may get the puck here if he's fast enough. He will.
Yeah, Sackenheim on that breakaway opportunity, he just got kind of caught up with the Clemson defender, so he wasn't able to do anything with the puck.
Yeah, and Felicki, he had his own shot at the goal, got blocked. And we get another whistle here just with over 4:50 left in this final period. Clemson trailing by 2, but still not out of this just yet.
You know, I know hockey doesn't have halves, but the second half of this game, going to about the halfway point in the second period, Clemson has 28 shots on goal. That's a lot, and that's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, Clemson, just like Kane earlier, he's going to fall all the way to the ice.
I think they're going to get, was that Dylan Siegel? No, it's going to be number 4, John White, with a trip. So Clemson back on the power play, down 2 goals, 4 minutes 37. Really good opportunity. You want to get your goal scorers. You have the great face-off man in Troy Gaveas, excuse me.
We'll see what Clemson decides to do as they're going to come over and talk about it with their head coach for just a moment. And we got to talk about this third period. We've had a lot of action, a lot of scoring. Which side do you think has the momentum right now? Obviously, Tennessee has the 2-point lead, but Clemson's quick strike offense has put them on edge almost this whole, like you said, second half of the game. Who do you like more in this moment?
Now, Clemson's a lot more comfortable playing fast. Tennessee, they play fast when they're aggressive. Aggressive is their mindset. But, you know, you can slow down the game and be aggressive, which is what they're going to have to do here, especially in the penalty kill. Well, you want to speed up Clemson's passing opportunities. You don't want to let them get a clean look at the net. But even if you do, as long as it's not out in front, Ben Cecil is going to have a good angle to save it.
And it may land up on Ben Cecil's shoulders if it comes down to it. But with the 2-point lead, you got to wonder, Tennessee, they have some security here, if you will. But you still need to be careful, limit the mistakes, and just make Clemson score. Don't let them score, make them score.
Interesting move there by Clemson off of the timeout, getting Gavea into a goal-scoring position instead of as their prime face-off guy.
And Tennessee, well, now it's going to go to Clemson. But some very valuable time going to be bled off the clock here as they find themselves in a jam. Tennessee with the chance. Clemson now going to get that puck right back.
Gavin Dunford there, very, very lucky that he was not called for a high stick, reaching for that puck up in the air. That would have given Clemson a huge 5-on-3 advantage with a lot of time to work with.
Indeed, 4 minutes left, only 1:22 left on that power play as that one sails high. Tennessee just doing everything they can to basically keep Clemson on the ice, if you will. Big hit right into the boards.
And that's going to be a penalty. That was a pretty obvious boarding there by Anthony Di Bartolomeo.
And that was Gavin Dunford, who you just mentioned, got lucky with the potential missed high sticking. Right there, he got slammed into the glass. But it works out in his favor, his team's favor, as now both these teams back even now. Still down a man, but now you got a 4v4.
Yeah, the 4v4, a lot of open ice. This is where speed kills. And Tennessee, they're a slower team. So they're just going to have to possess the puck in the offensive zone, get Clemson uncomfortable.
Barry and Kane a little back and forth. Kane with the shot. It was no good, but Tennessee keeps this one alive for the moment. Now Clemson streaking down the ice. That one is off to the right and high, and a whistle's called.
It's a nice catch there by the fans ringside.
That was a good catch.
Puck just squirting through the net. Chris Free, you know, he had a pretty nice back check there to prevent a good shot opportunity, and then Clemson just trying to make offense out of nothing, and then Tennessee was able to deflect it out.
So Tennessee brought the attack, but they had to bail at the last second to not allow too many Clemson players down here on the ice. Opportunity here for Tennessee. They don't have to score. They just need to maintain possession. They thought about it, though. As that shot is blocked by Clemson's goalie.
Smart move there by Kane, forcing the action, getting into the offensive zone, and then just dumping it off to your teammate Chris Free, who has a better angle at a shot. And when you put the shot on the goal, it makes the goalie think, and plus, you know, it adds another stoppage, which just hurts the fast tempo of Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson's goalie, Faris, kept them at least in the fight for now, but another mistake there by the, Ice Tigers limits their possession. They're running out of time. They've lost the power play on their side. So now Clemson finds himself in a hole with another whistle called.
Yeah, penalty killing for the Ice Tigers in the offensive zone. So this is best case scenario for them being down a man after that Tennessee icing.
Clemson won that faceoff but couldn't get anything out of it. Tennessee, nice little move there to keep the puck on their side, or on Clemson's side. Now Clemson just out of reach of his stick. A 1v1 coming up to the goalie. Great job by Tennessee's player there, number 86.
Ben Felicki, nice job getting back on defense. Troy Gavea, the captain for this Ice Tiger team, very aggressive there with that breakaway. And, maybe it was a little controversial that both of them kind of got tripped up there and no call was whistled. But nice job by Felicki.
Yeah, especially because it gave, his goalie Cecil a chance to not have to make a play right there. Maybe lose concentration of the puck and give Clemson a goal. Instead, now it's Tennessee on the attack. Once again, referee has to jump out of the way. Clemson now bringing it down the ice. 1:50 left. That pass or shot, however you want to look at it, stolen by Tennessee. And now there's a scrum right there in the corner. Tennessee manages the puck for now. And this is exactly what you want to do if you're the Ice Vols. Keep Clemson just all over the ice. Do not let them get in one spot to where they can suddenly attack Cecil from all sides. Just keep them stranded, really.
All of this clock, we'll call it wasting. All of that was because John White was able to hold off two defenders and keep the puck in his possession. And then that enabled the Ice Vols to get a shift change and some fresh bodies for this last minute of the game.
Cecil freezes that one with 55.6 seconds left. In this one, Tennessee up 2 goals. I'm not saying it's over just yet, Dom. We saw Tennessee score in the final 6 seconds. But you got to wonder, Tennessee's feeling good about the position they're in right now.
Yeah, I do not hear a fat lady singing somewhere because, Clemson's quick strike offense, you never know what's going to happen.
Cecil didn't have to deflect that one. His teammates will for him there. As that's Thomas back in the game, trying to get it. It went right past his skate. I don't even think he knew the puck was next to him. But it doesn't matter. Time is ticking for Clemson.
I think I can hear her now.
Yeah, it's faint, but you can certainly hear it now. 22 seconds, Tennessee fighting for the puck with Clemson. Neither one of these teams want to back down, but for Tennessee, it doesn't really matter at this point. 10 seconds. Clemson's out of time as they start not swinging, but hands were going up. Cecil's hand goes up, deflects that one, and that's going to do it, Dom. There's the horn. The fat lady sings now. Tennessee back in the win column with a huge win on their home turf against the Clemson Ice Tigers.
And a little extracurricular after there by Matt Wallace. You know, that game, the last minute was super physical, but this weekend as a whole, very physical, a lot of aggressive play, and a ton of goals scored.
Yeah, and honestly, props to both teams. Clemson brought the heat last night. Tennessee brought even more heat, you could say. I mean, they did score the same amount of goals as Clemson. But Tennessee, though, from start to finish in this game was alive, electric, and they get the win as the teams are going to do a nice little handshake here on senior night. Big win for the Ice Vols. Dom, we're just about wrapped up here, but I want to know your thoughts, not even just in this final period, which was action-packed. Across the whole game, how do you feel about both of these teams moving forward? Like you said, big game coming up for Tennessee with, their rival Vanderbilt, and then a big game for Clemson, and really in a rematch against South Carolina, who crushed them earlier this season.
Clemson, they play fast, which means they can get momentum very quick, and if they're able to keep that momentum, which we saw last night, then they're in a great position to win a lot of hockey games and score a lot of goals. As for the Ice Vols, aggressive play is their MO. They were able to do that today. Last night they were kind of held in check, kind of playing just a step behind the entire time. But today, they showed up, they showed out, and great performances by the senior Dylan Siegel, 3 goals on the weekend, 2 goals on senior day, and then Ben Cecil in goal, defending, saving 34 of 38 shots on goal, which is really good, despite giving up those 4 goals.
Thanks for being here with me, Dom. Clemson falls now to 7-5. Tennessee gets their 7th win of the season, now 7-5. Thank you so much for watching the Tennessee Club Sports Network. I'm Ethan Price. Alongside me today was Dominic Spezia. So long from Knoxville.